Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. I'm Claudia, your host for Things Topic. Today we're discussing smoking on campus. With me are Adifa and Arli. Let's start. Adifa, what's your view?
Thanks, Cody. I think smoking should be allowed in some area. Many students are adults and can make their own choice. Also, smoking helps some people relieve stress from exams.
That's a fair point, Arli. What do you think?
I disagree, Claudie. Health is more important. Secondhand smoke harms not smokers too. Also, it creates an unhealthy environment for learning.
Adifa, how do you respond to that?
Well, I agree health matters, but if we provide a designed smoking area far from buildings, it could solve this problem. Students would have a place and non-smokers would be affected.
Even with a designated area, I still think it's a bad idea. It encourages smoking and makes it seem normal. Plus, it damages the university image as a healthy place.
That's strong argument about image, Adifa.
I see your point, Arlie, but banning it complete might not work. Either students will just smoke outside the gate, so regulation is better than a total ban.
I understand, but I think total ban sends a clear message. The campus should be a smoke-free zone. Also, the cigarettes are expensive. Students could use the money for books or food instead.
Good point about finance. Adifa, anything to?
Yes, and the university should also offer support for students who want to quit smoking.
Great discussion. So we agree that smoking should not be allowed on campus for health and environmental reasons. Thank you both.
Welcome back, I am Adifa, now the host. Our second topic is AI on campus. So, AI be allowed for academic work? Ali, what your opinion?
Hi Adifa, I have a lot of thoughts about this. First, I think AI is very helpful for students. It saves time, help with brainstorming, and check grammar. For example, when I'm writing an essay, I use AI to get ideas from my outline. It makes things faster.
That's interesting, but is there any problem with using AI?
Yes, definitely. The biggest problem is cheating. Many students use AI to write their entrance essay. They just copy and paste. They're not learning at all. They just develop their thinking skill. Also, AI can give wrong information. Something it makes a fact that show true but are actually false. So we have to check everything with reasonable search like book or journal.
That's a very important warning. Claudie, what do you think about this?
I agree with Arli. All is helpful, but we must be careful of reliance on all reduce or critical thinking.
Ali, what about university police? Do they allow AI?
Many universities have rules about AI. Some allow it from brainstorming, but not from writing full assignment. The key is honestly, if you use AI, you should say so. You should also use ethically, not to cheat. I think universities should teach students how to use AI properly. That way students can benefit from it without missing it. No, I don't think so. AI is just a tool. I can replace human teachers. Teacher is influence use, motive use, and understand our feelings. AI can do that. Teachers also give personal feedback and support, so I will help teachers but won't replace them.
That's a great suggestion. What about the future? Do you think AI will replace teachers?
No, I don't think so. AI is just a tool. I can replace human teachers. Teacher is influence use, motive use, and understand our feelings. AI can do that. Teachers also give personal feedback and support, so I will help teachers but won't replace them.
Any final thoughts, Early?
Yes, I think AI is a great tool if we use it wisely, but we must always remember to think ourselves. The real learning happens when we do our own research and analysis. AI should be a helper, not a substitute for our effort.
Claudie, anything to add?
Just only thing the future is humans and a working together balance is important.
So the conclusion is AI is a great tool if used ethically and responsibly, but it cannot replace our own effort or our teachers. Thank you, Ali and Claudie. After hearing Ali argument, I'm starting to change my mind. Health, environment, and image are all important. Maybe a ban is better after all.
Baru-baru ini, Menteri Kesehatan Budi Gunadi Sadikin bilang kalau cowok perokok itu red flag besar bagi perempuan. Alasannya karena kebiasaan merokok nggak cuma merugikan diri sendiri, tapi juga pasangan yang jadi menanggung akibatnya sebagai perokok pasif. Para dokter juga memperingatkan soal second hand bahkan third hand smoke atau perokok pasif yang terpapar asap rokok dan residu rokok yang tersisa di lingkungan. Kata dokter, dua kategori ini punya risiko kesehatan yang sama dengan perokok aktif. Faktanya, Indonesia merupakan satu dari 5 negara dengan jumlah perokok tertinggi di dunia. Survei WHO dan Kemenkes menyebut, jumlah perokok aktif di Indonesia diperkirakan mencapai 70 juta orang atau sekitar sepertiga populasi negara. Dari jumlah itu, mayoritas perokok di Indonesia adalah laki-laki. Dan laporan WHO juga menemukan bahwa di Indonesia, paparan asap rokok di tempat umum masih tinggi. Lalu, apa aja sih risiko kesehatan yang dihadapi perokok pasif? Pertama, akibat menghirup asap, perokok pasif rentan terhadap jenis-jenis penyakit yang sama dengan yang dialami perokok aktif, kata dokter spesialis paru di Rumah Sakit Persahabatan Agus Dwi Sutanto. Itu termasuk kanker, penyakit jantung, stroke, asma, bronkitis, infeksi saluran pernapasan akut, hingga gangguan fertilitas dan gangguan kognitif. Kedua, risiko kanker ini bukan hanya kanker paru, tapi juga berbagai jenis kanker lainnya. Menkes Budi Sadikin mengingatkan bagi perokok pasif, risiko kanker payudara dan kanker serviks naik 40%. Kok bisa sih? Nah, kata dokter, ini karena bahan karsinogen, bahan yang berpotensi menyebabkan kanker pada asap rokok, ikut terhirup dan masuk ke pembuluh darah.
Bahan karsinogen itu akan mengiritasi di tempat di mana bahan itu tertumpuk. Kalau dia misalnya menyangkut di suatu organ ya, misalnya dia masuk ke pembuluh darah, kemudian tersangkut di daerah payudara, dia akan menginduksi perubahan sel-sel di payudara itu merangsang jadi normal menjadi sel kanker.
Ketiga, third hand smoke. Ini adalah residu rokok atau sisa asap yang menempel pada permukaan seperti furnitur, dinding, pakaian, hingga kulit yang bertahan lama meski rokok telah lama padam. Jadi, meski seseorang merokok di luar ruangan demi menjaga jarak dari teman, pasangan, atau anak, tapi ternyata tetap aja ada yang namanya perokok tersier yang juga memiliki risiko kesehatan yang sama.
Ketika seorang perokok di rumah tiap hari, maka third hand smoke itu akan nempel di ruangan yang dia biasa ngerokok. Dia akan menghirup sisa-sisa nikotin, sisa-sisa tar yang ada di sofa, ada yang di karpet. Kalau itu tiap hari, itu akan terkumpul juga. Dan riset menunjukkan risiko penyakit third hand smoke ya sama juga dengan second hand smoke. Hanya bedanya masalah konsentrasi.
Menurut laporan WHO, ada 6 negara dengan tingkat konsumsi tembakau yang terus meningkat. Salah satunya Indonesia. Kalau kamu ketemu orang yang merokok di sembarang tempat, apa yang akan kamu lakukan? Beri komentarmu di bawah.